Hi and welcome to another episode of TRX Bench. Today here Yaesu FT-817 and the radio came in with no function at all, but due to the fact that the owner mixed up the power cord, so plus and minus mixed up. So the radio died and after that no function at all. I mean, okay, that is normally not so difficult to fix, but this radio has been to another radio shop and well, for a reason I don't know, the shopkeeper was not able to fix the radio and gave it back to the owner and told him, I have no time, I cannot do it, so please take it away. Now it is here, and the challenge is we never know what really happened to the radio in the other location. Well, the info we got is that, you see already we have missing screws and so on, and the information was that the screws are here in the battery compartment, so this little clip is missing as well. Okay, anyways, let's see if we can open it, and here's a bag with screws and so that is true, and that proves that somebody already had the radio open. But anyways, let's connect it to the power supply and let's see if it is really true that nothing works. Okay, so therefore we connect here our power plug to the radio, and now I connect here my power supply so that the radio will get power, so no current flow in this stage, which is not too bad, so there is no short so far. And now, let's try if we can power it up. No, we can't. So it is totally true, no function. Okay, so let's crack open the radio and let's see what we can find. Okay, so radio is open, and so here we have our connector. To connect the external DC power, right? While normally when you use it mobile, you have here your battery compartment, and the radio will get supplied by the batteries. So therefore we have here in this area a sensor who is able to distinguish between external DC or battery DC, and if you mix up your external power supply, then normally it should get protected, but due to the fact that we do not see nothing, and secondly that the radio was in another repair shop before, so we need to check it a little bit more closely, and therefore let's prepare here our microscope to inspect the area here around our input jack. Oh my goodness, so what has happened here to the poor radio? Okay, so let's orientate a little bit. So we have down here, so that is of course here our DC connector, right? And when we looking here over the board, so you see, yeah, somebody has already tried to solder down here, so that is from my point of view not something what happens if you have a short or so. So somebody tried to do here anything, I don't know. I mean, this is flux here, so that is for sure. And you see that somebody tried to solder here at this little component, so that is a little operational amplifier. So I believe when I'm right, this is the sensor, I believe, not 100% sure, but anyways. And but what might be much more important is this here. Do not know if you can see it. So that is from my point of view an trace interruption. So this cap here, so that must be the minus pole, and that means from here, which is minus input, to this capacitor we should have of course our minus, and it looks like that there is an interruption. Yeah, maybe we can easily check it out here. So you probably hear the beeper, and let me go down here and let me go down there, and we should hear a beep, but no, we don't. So there, of course, but here, no, that is definitely an interruption. So it looks like that this part of the trace burned off or whatever, but as the owner told me, he has mixed up the power cord. I believe that it burned off. Even we don't see clear burning marks, but you know, yeah, whatever the other person tried here, I hope that he did not destroy here anything additionally to what we already have. Okay, so yeah, okay, let me do another test to see what our voltages are, and then we want to have a look onto our schematic or our board view, and see how this here should be originally, but it definitely looks to me that yeah, that is burned off for sure. Okay, so let's try it. So I go here with my probes down to our connector, and I use first our connector solder point, both for plus and for minus, and let's see, that is okay. So we read our 13.8 volt. I hope you can see it. Yeah, And now I go onto the trace behind the interruption, where we think it is an interruption. So let me go down there and again down to the plus pole, and yeah, what we see is there is nothing. So that is definitely a burned off trace for sure. Well, so that is proving our assumption, but still I don't know why, you know, why really we have all the flux and the solder down here in this area. So I guess before I bridge this you know, destroyed trace, I clean it here a little bit to get a better overview. Okay, to show it once again, I have tested it first here, you know, directly at our little plug connected here to the board, and then here behind this interruption, and there we were not able to test for our 13 volt, obviously, because it is interrupted here. Next step, let me clean it, let we see a little bit better what really happens here to this area. Okay, cleaning process. Let's see that we get it a bit better to inspect. Well, maybe one word why I'm going so slow. I mean, we have for sure this both issues. It has been in another workshop, and I don't know what has happened to the radio. And secondly, if you simply go now directly and bridge it, you might damage more than you like. So always, when you have things like this, really be careful and go step by step. Don't hurry, because it is so easy to damage really more you like. So therefore, that is the reason why I'm very carefully here and really take the time not to do any silly, right? And of course I will go and bridge here our trace and see what then will happening. But first we really need to be sure that everything is fine. Okay, and here we can compare once again our board with the reality, and you see that is here the jack, and this is our trace to the capacitor. You see that it is connected to minus here to the capacitor, and we have our interruption here between this little two capacitors, right? And we have here our Q1108, which I believe was or is a sensor, and yeah, you see that for some reason here we have some solder work done by the other shop. I need to check if we do not have a connection here, a little bridge. It looks like that we have a little bridge on the board here. I have to check it once again, but yeah, so it makes all sense. So okay, let's go back here to our board view, and here you may see what I meant, maybe that it is a little bridge. I'm not sure. So let's see if I can go down. I mean, it is not, of course, the best solder joint, but we can make it fancy when we are ready here with the work, and we know that it is working. Then we can here improve the solder joints, but first of all I'm really want to get it back working, hopefully without any problems, but you never know. Under the circumstances we got it in. Okay. Well, it is really a delicate area where we have to work here, and yeah, it is difficult to see without microscope, so bare eyes is really difficult. Anyways, first of all I try to clean it a little bit to get yeah, the old very difficult to get down, to get the old solder away. And you already see it is no fun to work down there, but we have to try. And yeah, here the frame from our radio is a little bit in the way, because the PCB is still in the radio, and that is normally not the best idea. So normally you always should try to get the board out. Then works like this are much easier. Okay, so maybe that is already okay. Now I add here some new flux, and I hope that maybe we can simply connect the both parts here with a solder blob. We will see in a second. So let's go ahead here, and again some trouble here with the frame, with the housing. Okay, that looks not too bad. That is not too bad. Okay. Yeah, that looks promising. I will double check it in a second. Okay, so here is our situation on the board, and of course we test it. So we have now our continuity where we should have it, and additional to that, we do not want to have a short, of course. Therefore I use here our plus pole and test it here against ground, and that seems to be good. So there is obviously no beep, so that means that we have no short which is okay. Well, now we have to go ahead. That means we are going to connect our radio to the power supply and see what will happening. So yeah, let me go over that we can see it here. And yeah, power supply is switched on, and now I connect our cord to the power supply, and that is looking good. So you have seen that there was a current flow in the moment where I pushed here the connector in. That is due to the fact that there are, of course, capacitors which get charged, and that is what we have seen. And now we have still 5 milliamps, which is a kind of standby current, so that is no problem from my point of view. So next, of course, is now, let's try to switch it on. Cross fingers and hope the best. Wow! And we are lucky. So obviously our unit is back working. So now I can go and clean a little bit, you know, what we have seen on the board. So I do some additional solder work and make it a little bit nice and tiny, and yeah, so looks good, very nice. Well, but before I go ahead, I just wanted to make sure that our radio is receiving, and yeah, so it is definitely working. So also here on our monitor we see we have a clean and crisp sign, so everything is just fine, no problems whatsoever. And yeah, that simply means we really can go now and clean up a little bit here the odd solder points. Well, and as explained earlier when we did our first examination, I just want to clean up this solder points here a little bit, so that whatever happened to it, it should be in a good condition, and that is what I'm gonna do right now. And for all of you who may wonder why I really did such a big blob here onto this trace, yeah, we cannot do it too small or too filigrane, because we have to have in mind that the whole current has to go over it. I mean, okay, I agree, it is a QRP unit, so therefore it is only 5 watt, which is not that critical as it would be a 100 watt version. But anyways, it is good to have this in a good condition. Okay, so that is better now, I believe. And of course I have to clean it a little bit, but you can hopefully see the difference, that now it is much better. Okay, so far. Okay, and I've tested, of course, our SSB output power as well, so 20 meter band, and here we are. And I really do not commend it. So radio is putting out 20 watt. Anyways, it is working, and I don't touch the portion. of the transmitter. Anyways, so let's finish with these pictures here. So radio is definitely back working, and I'm glad that nothing more was defect after the reverse polarity. So that is turns out fine, and that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time. Bye.